turning lane on Route 88 between Tractor Supply and Scarmazzi. What do we need to do to get that started? And what kind of surveys or studies or?
Well, first and foremost, that's a PenDot highway.
Okay.
So improvements to a state highway would be ultimately the decision of PenDot.
Okay.
So that's not a township road, which gives us little authority, I think no authority, to really make modifications.
You can call PenDot, plan to PenDot, and then they're going to tell you,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have anybody to do anything, so we can't.
Now, depending on future development,
Well, that's the idea.
I
That's Weber, but that's
studies and, yeah, you know, 88 is a
Mass.
corridor that's primed for future development, as you know, we know. And any time there would be a land development, whether that be commercial or residential or any other type of development on that corridor, there would be traffic impact study scoping events that would take place as a very early step in that process for development. So specifically about studies, there wouldn't really be one until there was a viable land development plan that would potentially alter the traffic counts in that area.
So there was a walkthrough on that, though, maybe a month or so ago, right? With Weber and...
Yeah, so we did have a scoping meeting with Weber Development for that proposed Highland Plaza project, which was going to go in there by the Tractor Supply and Scarmazzi, potentially. So the way that works, the developer hires a traffic engineer, essentially, to prepare a traffic impact study that would result from the full build out of their development. And through consultation with PenDot, there would be improvements that would be required by PenDot as part of any development that would go in there. So the cost to install a signal or an auxiliary turning lane would be borne by the developer at that time upon recommendation by their traffic engineer and PenDot, basically.
So if that plan comes to fruition for another occupancy in the Tractor Supply Plaza, we would be responsible for approval, non-approval of that occupancy. And
Right.
can that be based on the fact that we feel there should be a turning lane put in there?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And your ordinance has provisions in there that allows you to, I believe, do your own, have your own traffic engineer. You know, our office doesn't, we're not traffic experts, so,
So we could deny a building permit
yeah, you have
for the next.
grounds to condition subdivision and land development approval based on, PenDot improvements to the traffic situation. Certainly you do, yes.
Now, don't put me on a thing, but surely the ordinance is set up off of the type of uses that you're gonna have, and there'll be trip counts and stuff with it. So you'll be denying it off of what the ordinance is.
Right, yeah, Harold's right, your ordinance has standards for increased traffic counts and average daily trips and things like that. So.
It's in relationship to the square footage of the stores, parking, and potential usage. The other thing it should be, that even though the horse is out of the barn, with Tractor Supply, maybe their permit, which is questionable, I understand, should be incorporated so that there's just one access even for them in this further development.
Bringing everything down to where the existing entrance is right now.
No, they can close that
Close that
entrance
and put
because
it, okay,
in the rear of the building, there can be a common roadway that you turn into, branch off, go to them, go to the other businesses versus having two driveway permits for the two developments.
PenDot will grant their access, yes, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right, yeah. Yeah, they'll make them have a common driveway, I'd be
And
very
right.
surprised if they didn't.
Yeah,
and right now, we don't know what was, after your walkthrough within the scoping, you have no idea what they're doing at this point.
Yeah, so what the scoping meeting is, it's essentially the group gets together and discusses what parameters are gonna be included in the traffic study. So once that meeting takes place, then the independent consultant for the developer completes the traffic study, presents that to Union Township and PenDot, which would then prompt any additional turning lanes or signals, or they present their results and then PenDot decides what they want to do, basically. So it's a very early stage. I haven't heard anything else from them about it. I don't know if it's going ahead or where they stand.
And reading the Tractor Supply stuff, they were already at the top of the numbers coming in and out.
Yeah.
well, the other, if it's too costly for the developer, they'll bail.
Cost of doing business.
Yeah.
Cost of doing business.
Oh, well, do it right.
Yeah, if you ain't gonna make money out of it, don't do it.
That's right.
Timber ordinance, did, yeah, I almost forgot about that. We were supposed to be possibly looking at the timber ordinance.
I thought Dennis had
I
one.
dropped the ball on that. We'll be back next month.
Yeah, but I thought Dennis had a copy. I was gonna.
Either he was gonna draft one or he has one.
He has one.
Draft rather.
He has one.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Several other municipalities. I don't have it with me, but if you want me to send it to you, I will.
Yes.
Okay.
Have that to the agenda for next month.
There was a big concern at the last meeting. Clear all the streets out, how do we regulate this and stormwater, and there was just questions.
I drove back here yesterday, it's terrible back there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
After the fact type thing that we're gonna have to deal with.
Are they still working up there since the last meeting, or have they been denied anything further?
And there's nothing, we can't deny it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.